Yo, what's up? Fake Radio. We here with a special guest.
Yes, sir, yes,
Legend
sir.
right here. Introduce yourself.
What's up, Fake Radio? It's Kyevoni, aka Young Vega, aka shit.
Well, what else? That's it?
Nah, that's it right there.
Yeah,
AKA, that's me.
Alright, yeah. I fuck with that.
Yeah.
Alright, so I met you. You were at the same showcase that rapper I manage Adamir was at. I didn't know what to expect from your performance, and then me and all my friends, we saw you because everyone was still there. You know what I'm saying? And everyone was like, "Yo, this dude Kyevoni crazy."
Yeah, he's wild, dude.
It was a crazy. Everyone loved it.
That's dope, man.
You put on the mask.
Yeah, the mask.
Was that just a phase, or was it
I fuck with it. I'm gonna expand on it more, but it's definitely swag I'm gonna keep tapping into. It's based off of, that's kind of what the intro little part was. Young Vega.
Yeah.
That's based off of that Street Fighter character. Me and my dad used to play that when I was young, so we bonded over that. That was my main. For anyone who need to know, my main is Ken right now, either Ken or Cammy. But because Vega got some weird controls now, you gotta load his shit. But Vega got swag. His thing is he's beautiful. He got the mask on,
that's
so
true.
when you square up with him, you can't touch his face type shit.
Yeah.
And he's like an anti-hero. I mean, he a villain really, but he kill anything he deem as ugly.
That's true.
So I'm like, that's hard.
Is Street Fighter your favorite game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tattooed on my body. This is
shit.
This is from Sun Tzu's Art of War. Camera won't be able to catch it type shit. I don't know. Should I get up in that business?
Yeah.
Does that matter?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Alright, Mike, I'm sorry. Alright, y'all peep game. This is
there we go.
from Sun Tzu's Art of War. This is wind, forest, fire, mountain. It's how you should approach war. As swift as the wind, as calm as a forest, as raging as a fire, and as stable as a mountain. As an artist, that's how I approach my art type shit, you feel me? Yeah. But it's on the main character from Street Fighter, it's on his belt. Ryu, it's my dad's main.
That's close.
Yup. So that's what that mask, coming back to the mask concept. That's why I was tapping in with that.
And you've been making music for a while, because I saw you had that project Songs to Give Up To.
Yeah, bro, a hot minute, bro.
Yeah.
I gotta stand by that record because people really like it type shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I've been in the process of making music my whole life type shit, but releasing it and trying to be taken seriously since 2017 for sure.
Were you in high school?
Yeah.
Got you. And you from out here? You from?
Nah. I grew up in Dago. I grew up in San Diego, 619 California.
Got you.
Southeast.
Cool. And so, how do you feel from 2017 to now? That's 6 years or some shit. How do you feel you evolved? How do you feel your style's changed?
I feel
you got some unique shit going on.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I evolve with my work type shit. So my sounds they just keep it keeps going the direction that I want it to go, but there are drastic changes over time in my sound. Mostly because I'm just changing as a human. Yeah. So I started out doing this lo-fi chill hip hop shit because it was shit that I like to listen to. And then eventually just the way that music moves me and the way that life moves me, man, it's so complicated, or not even complicated. There's just this duality that I feel I wasn't exploring when I was younger. It was kind of not to critique myself, but to more in retrospect. It was a youthful and amateurish approach to an expression of my feelings, and it's because it was really early. Yeah. You know what I mean? But as I got older type shit, I started out doing little goofy funny shit when I was doing music. Right. Even before I started doing that that sad boy shit, you know. And then I realized it's kind of both. You know what I mean? That's what life is. And so a lot of my music now is replicant of the most difficult things that I've experienced truly, and me working through very deep feelings, and also just having a lot of fun because that's what making art is, man. That's what
Yeah.
living life is. I'll go through something bad, bro, and be having the best. Bro, I got fucking lost getting here. You know what I mean? But this is fire as fuck.
Yeah,
like, this is fun. This is chill, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's always both things are always happening. So I just accept life for what it is.
You dropped 2 projects this year. You dropped a project deluxe and then another one. You got Hoodfolk Volume 1. Is Volume 2 in the works?
Volume 2 is in the works. You know what I mean? It's in the works. It's a series that I made with intention. So Volume 2 is definitely going to happen type shit, but it's currently not a musical priority. But it is in the works. Like there's some shit for it.
Yeah. You got Hoodfolk Volume 1 out. Huge like fairy tale, folktale elements. What kind of made you want to go into that thematic direction?
Man, I'm a real romantic ass nigga. Like I'm real sparkly for real. I'm real glittery. So like I like that I like when shit is really weird but inviting. It's funny that we're surrounded by so much David Bowie right now. I don't know if anybody will be able to visualize that, but we got some David Bowie imagery in the space right now. And that vibe, specifically like Labyrinth, bro. Yeah. That vibe where it's like, this is creepy as fuck, bro. Like, this is like, honestly, unequivocally, like, whatever that word is, bro. Undeniably, this is weird as fuck, but there's this warmness to it. Like, I like shit like Where the Wild Things Are. I like shit like, you know, that's just shit that's like a little off-putting, but there's this more whimsical bro. I make whimsical ass hip hop, bro. Like, I
surreal.
Shit like that. It's like, it feels familiar, but it's like, it's definitely undeniably there's an oddness to it. Yeah. And I think when I conjured up the word hood folk, I was kind of like, folk has this kind of, I don't know, in the cabin in the woods essence. Yeah. But also like, you know, I'm some nigga from San Diego. So I'm like, I grew up around all these different, all these sounds, all this hip hop and character and personality. And I kind of fell in love with like, you know, rock and indie shit by myself. And that's what's up. Yeah.
And a lot of the songs are like named after fairy tales, like
it's like either named after something or it's this and this. That's the naming scheme.
Yeah, like sure. Wolf, Red Riding Hood, Giving Tree, or like Witch and What like, because a lot of them like I hear the song and it's like it sounds like what you would think of type shit, and then some others I'm like, how did he think to name this song, like Giving Tree like that like.
That's shout out NC-17. That was his idea. He just threw that out there. He just said the Giving Tree, and I was like, that swagged out because I love me some Shel Silverstein, man. Shel Silverstein is the nigga that got me into poetry, and I thought he was black. I really I
thought he was a woman. So, I'm reading the same.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Shel. That eats. Shel eats as a woman name. Yeah. But in the back of the book, he just had this like beard, balls. I was like, you got the combo, bro. Look like my granddad. But I rock with Shel Silverstein, so he throws out the Giving Tree. I'm like, that eats. We're gonna use that. Yeah. And then all the other ones, man. Like, I really, especially lately, got into this process artistically that I'm really trying to trust my instincts a lot more. Yeah. Because I have a lot of perfectionist tendencies. So like I'm aware of that, I kind of fight against it. I act against it by acting very sporadically. And in moments like this, sometimes I was like, man, the blank and the blank sound hard. You know what I mean? And, or this just like, I say it and suddenly that is the beat's identity. You know what I mean? That's what it embodies. And I just like to do shit that feels, I'm going to use the word serendipitous or something like that. Like something that just feels like, fuck, that was the moment. I love capturing moments. That's my biggest thing.
For sure.
That's human.
And like with Midas, like what made you choose? That song goes hard, by the way.
That song's crazy. Yo, I love me some Midas, bro. How did I like come up with the word Midas?
Like Midas, like what made you?
Yeah, just calling it Midas was for sure just because I said that in the song, and that in and of itself. I thought about so I kind of cheated. Hi, can I see the cat?
Yeah, for sure.
The cat is so precious.
I'm waiting for this cat to knock over the
you little batter.
Yeah, no, yeah. You
messing with the mic a little
too much.
bit.
No, yeah, no. Get out of here. Nah,
Bean.
that was too cold.
Ruthless.
Alright. But back on Midas.
Yeah, so Goldilocks, you gonna take a drink of my shit?
She wants
Goldilocks was the only one that was the singular. Goldilocks was the only one that was the singular title, so I was like, all right, I'm low key valid if I name something else like one word.
Yeah.
And since Midas is already like a type of story, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was light work. I was just like, I'll just say Midas, bro, because that's all I'm talking about.
Yeah. Goldilocks goes crazy too.
Goldilocks is insane. Shout out Joe Iska. Joe Iska just dropped a song called Feathers. That shit goes dummy. But yeah, shout out Joe Iska.
Yeah. And you got some songs with like fairy tale versions.
Yeah.
What made you do that? The instrumentals are different. Like, what made you call them fairy tale versions? Like, what?
I wanted to lean more into like the kind of fairy tale aspect of everything that I was saying.
Yeah,
so I was like, they're gonna be like basically different versions, but I want to call them, the fairy tale versions. It actually took me a while to come up with the word fairy tale. I was really cooking for a while. I was like, what the fuck am I gonna say? And I was like, oh duh, like
because they're not exactly like acoustic.
Yeah,
versions,
no, they're like just a more like elaborate ass version, and that shit honestly, I just whipped that shit out, man. If I got it, I had to express it, so I was like, man, let me just do that. And it did change the vibe, like the Witch and the Broomstick, man.
Yeah.
Witch and the Broomstick, the way the violins swell, and Jaden, shout out Jaden Dante Gear, Knox, December 25th. Bro, that shit, the way that they swell over Jaden's voice, and he has so much excitement and power in his delivery, and it's ruthless and ignorant, and it's just this beautiful backing, and it's definitely one of my favorite flips.
Yeah, and the song "Pigeon in the Bus", is that like inspired by the bus?
The Pigeon in the Bus. No, I was hoping niggas would catch that because I was like, am I tweaking if I call this the Pigeon in the Bus? Like, would they know? Like, but yeah, bro, don't let the pigeon drive the bus.
Don't
bro.
let the pigeon drive the bus. I was like, oh, he's off, and I was like, pigeon in the butt, like that's
yeah. That shit.
ChosenisFrozen on the song.
Shout out ChosenisFrozen. Also just dropped Severed. Also back to NC-17, who also just dropped fucking Fear No Evil.
And by the way,
I almost said a whole other album.
I'm gonna say this now. Fear No Evil, one of my favorite projects.
Disgusting project.
And you got one of the hardest verses.
Yeah, for sure.
That's like one of my most listened to songs. Like,
I feel it, bro.
Because it came out like when I was like traveling home for Thanksgiving and stuff, so I didn't have like time to like listen to it right away.
Yeah.
But I was like to Adam, I was like, yo, like, did you listen to the NC-17, bro? And he was like, yeah, but like, you gotta listen to like Kyevoni.
She got the craziest shit.
Yeah,
y'all real for that. Y'all are so real for that, man. Yeah, shout out NJ for all the work that he put. 2 years of work. Same with Jaden, but with that song, bro, he's an incredible director. He just kind of led me to. He said, man, say some raw shit, say some ignorant shit, say some crazy shit, because it's gonna be the Duality type shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that song crazy. I want to give that shout out to Diddy too, because that's the intro track, and that's one of my favorite features on the record. He comes in crazy. He's like, boy, what the fuck? I'll never forget that. That boy, what the fuck, live in my chest. But yeah, brother. But yeah, so that's how it went. Culminating basically like the feature sounds and like how the fairy tale versions come about is like what I wanted to hear on those like softer instrumental backings.
Right. Yeah. And I've noticed in some of your songs you have kind of like a Detroit flow style that like
for sure.
Like
that punch and flow.
Yeah. Like who are your favorite like the artists from Detroit? Like what kind
my
of
favorite artists from Detroit, I gotta respect Babyface Ray.
Babyface
Ray, of course, go crazy. These is nasty. I've listened to some of these. I love when Yachty was dipping into that. I love me some Rio, of course. I just it's honestly a lot of niggas that's hyped. I will say when it comes to punch and flow though, like and my inspirations in general when it comes to like hitting that shit, I really got popped in with like Miles, YNJ, RX Poppy, RX Nephew. Just because like or like even Z Loopers be punching into like
Diesel.
They be going crazy. And the thing is, too, BK the Ruler, also shout out BK the Ruler, our Lord and Savior. You know what I'm saying? That punch and flow, there's something about containing that energy, something very organized about it, too. Like, I've been doing it a lot lately. A lot of my unreleased I've been listening to on the way here.
Right.
It's just like, this is like Detroit type shit, but like, there's so much of the West Coast that involves a lot of shit talking and a lot of like slick talk and a lot of like, you know, how you're swagging type
That's
shit.
very true.
So I resonate with a lot of it, especially the Detroit shit, because a lot of that is just straight like they talking dope, they talking all that shit, but they talking their shit. You know what I mean? That should be funny, bro.
Yeah.
And it should be that's the real life shit, bro. Is they be talking about real shit and they be comedy, bro. Like shit be funny, but shit be dead ass. You know what I mean? So it's like. I love that's real human shit. So I rock with that. But yeah, I'm funny, so I just be saying shit. I just be pushing and saying shit, bro.
So outside of Detroit, who are like your main inspirations musically? Like,
I tell people I'm probably gonna do this the more interviews I do to just essentialize it. But I tell people I grew up with my dad playing E40 and my mom playing Shakira, and that is my like that is the culmination of the things that happen. I personally like to directly reference this band called Broadcast.
Okay.
This like simply the word broadcast. They're a British indie band from like the early 2000s. The lead singer, her name is Trish. She passed away at some point, I think in 2011. And it's just this incredible, if I'm talking about humanity, incredible mix of like synthetics and very warm acoustic tracks. And it's kind of at this early stage, especially in the early 2000s, where it's like the technology's not all the way there, so it's way more playful. And I love it. There's something cold about it, but it's also very just, it hugs you, kids, it keeps you safe. So I love that shit. I love that feeling. That's what I want my music to feel like. I love me some Kendrick. I love me some Yachty lately. Yachty's had no misses lately. Borderline no misses.
True.
Fucking with Cardi's new shit, of course.
All the concrete boys.
All the concrete niggas. Shout out Karrahboo as well. Karrahboo's going crazy. But fucking who is that? No name. BK the Ruler. Those are people that are actively all the time. Like I'm deriving Silk Money. If niggas haven't peeped Silk Money, one of the top 5 rappers, period. MF Doom, you know, I can fan too. I'm a Peggy fan as well. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, mandatory.
Absolutely. And you got the new project, the Human Comedy.
That shit's nasty, crazy. Brother.
Yeah.
Nasty work.
I love it. And I was listening to that and like I realized like some of the songs like flow wise, it sounds kind of like Sufjan Stevens a little bit.
Really, that's crazy. That's the first time somebody told me that.
Yeah, I was like, it sounds like Sufjan. Like,
that's cool as fuck. Yeah. That's a really cool comparison.
Like, ooh and shit, like
ooh is beautiful. I adore ooh, and I'm so glad people resonated with that. I thought it was gonna be one of the low key records because it's so chill, but people loved it, and I was really happy with that response, bro. Because it's I was being real on that shit, bro, too. Because I was saying some shit, bro. I'm going through it. You know what I mean? But that's how you release that type of shit. But Sufjan Stevens is incredible. I love me some Sufjan Stevens. I think his work is very beautiful and transcending in a way. So that's a very big compliment for me. I wouldn't have thought of him.
And so why human comedy? Like what's kind of the thematic?
Kind of the shit that I've been talking about lately, you know what I mean? But like, you know, I was talking about shit funny, but shit for real, you know? That's a ad-lib I be throwing out, but basically saying it's comedy for real, you know what I mean? It's funny, you know? But like, the human comedy is based off of the series by, and y'all can't laugh at me when I say this. This is a writer. His name is Anor de Balzac.
Got you.
And I mean that on everything I love. It is spelled Balzac. And it's crazy because his writing is so incredible, but he has cursed me to now every time I bring that up to somebody, I have to say something. I have to say Balzac. So he puts me in a rock and a hard place there. Right. But other than that, man, the way his writing is fucking described as like even the objects in the room have a whole like background and story and personality. And I love it. I think it's like I wouldn't even say grounded. It's just so intimate, and it's paced very well. But basically, it's this 90-volume series, and it's called La Humane Comédie or something like that. It's spelled like in French. He's fucking French. And it's basically translates to the human comedy, and it just explores these interlinking lives of these random people that have nothing to do with each other, but maybe cross paths for like a page. You know what I mean? And it's
Interesting.
90 something volumes.
Yeah.
Like he really gets to like the ways that people just run it or pass. It's like all this crazy shit. But essentially the sentence, the human comedy, I really resonated with how I've learned to move about life and receive information, bro. Is because like, you know, difficult shit will continue to happen to you over and over and over again. And frankly, I want to live. You know what I mean? Type shit. You know what I mean? So I'm like, if this is what life is, I've also had so many moments in my life where I'm laughing till I'm crying. I'm experiencing euphoria. I'm looking at the sky like I'm really here. The type shit that you want to have children just so they get to experience this type of shit. You know what I mean? It's that duality. It's that's what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And in the human comedy, bro, it accidentally kind of became my breakup album type shit. You know what I mean? So I ended up kind of working through these emotions in a process that feels realistic to the cycle that I was experiencing, which is this absolute high on Valdaro, this piano intro. Nigga, that's my entrance. I step in my spot. I'm like, I'm him. Like, nobody could touch me. You know what I mean? I don't even want nobody. I'm coolin'. I'm him, and then it keeps going, and it's like, I'm about to rise. I'm chilling. And then it gets to this point of frustration. It starts to get a frustration. Like I'm upset that this happened. You know what I mean? And then it keeps transitioning. Like, oh, I kind of like am playing now. I'm kind of delusional. You know, I'm kind of like thinking they might come back, but I'm like, they definitely not coming back. They for sure not coming back. And then just working through the emotions a little bit towards the end of where all of this. Once you get to bro, and you listen to Valdaro all over again, and you get back into the cycle, you understand that this was it all along. You know what I mean? I feel these emotions about myself that are very true. I'm very confident. I feel very good about myself. And then there's this fucking man. I'm affected by this. It sucks. Not a good feeling. True. I miss this person. I miss being around this person. You know what I mean?
And you wrote this. And you wrote this before the break. You wrote this as you were going through the break.
Going through it. It already had happened. You know what I mean? And so by that point, I had already made a decision to make this kind of project, but I wasn't doing it consciously. I was just kind of making songs. And the flow of the record, the entire album is on one FL file. Like it's on one fucking shit. So when you press play on the FL file, like it all goes through. And so it just ended up all blending together, and that's the thing. Even the sequencing of the record is purposeful in a way that it all blends together because it all blends together. Yes, you know what I mean? This high of loving yourself and you know being aware of your power and holding yourself in your strength, and then being these crushed feelings, being real with yourself about you experiencing something and what you're doing while you're experiencing shit, bro. Like I'm looking on their page, I'm over here, I'm struggling, brother. Like I'm like, oh, you know what I'm saying? And you tell that to somebody, and you just sing that, and you just express it. Somebody hears that shit, man. It's like, man, I felt that. You know what I'm saying? Or they don't. They like, this nigga's crazy.
It's good.
And I might be. You know what I mean? But it's on the. At least me and the mic know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I haven't heard a good like breakup album in a while.
It is what it is. You know, you can swag out to it, but you got to be real with yourself to it.
It's been a minute since we got a good breakup album.
I'm coming for Adele for sure.
Yeah, for real. So when it comes to production, you do your own production most of the time?
Oh yeah. A lot of the time, 90% of the time. But I will say, shout out Gelado, shout out Gelado. If y'all haven't peeped the Ether Decor video, Ether Decor interview with Gelado, with Gelado, bro, my brother. That man, I work with him very closely. A lot of projects. We'll have some shit for y'all, but that man is an incredible producer, and I work with him a lot. I work with him all the time, and we're gonna have some shit. And I even consult him when it comes to beats. I've become a better producer because of being around this guy. Yeah. So yes, and I say all that to say my beats are crazy, bro. Yeah. It's they hit, and I'm very proud of them because I'm finally moving towards this kind of sound that is just my own, you know, and I'm very intentional about that. So anyway, that strengths, bro, I do a lot of it.
And so you from San Diego? How'd you get involved and meet people like NC-17, ChosenisFrozen, Gelado? I know they kind of came up together. How'd you kind of get
I met NC at college in school. So we met and then we hit it off. Like first time I met him, we talked until like 5 a.m. in his room, and I like slept on his floor. Yeah. You know what I mean? Type shit. So like we was already locked in from the start. Yeah. And we made hella music, and we need to make more. Yeah. Frankly, but yeah, that's my brother. So he locked me in with some other niggas that he knew that he grew up with, and we had this thing called the lock-in. I don't know. Exactly. The lock-in. I met a lot of people through this. You know what I mean? And it was very much NC-17 was very much the person that like organized that. Yep. And I met the homies that I've talked about during the podcast so far.
A lot of them have been on this show too.
Yeah, facts. So that's what kind of made me go. I thought it was like I thought it was just like chilling. It was just they would be in the area and vibe out. But then like it was like one day after another, and I was like, bro, I gotta tap in. I was like,
that's what am I? Like anytime like I did Arlena, and then she kind of brought me into a lot of the events, and then like mad people just be like hitting me up because like. They know, like, oh, I saw you do like NJ, and then like Chosen was on the NJ one, and I was like, we got Chosen. Tara was on, and then like you and me, I was like, all right, that's Chosen,
yeah, it's cool, man. And I wanted to have a moment too in the middle of this to say I'm very appreciative of you doing this, like you cultivating this community and environment, and listening to artist stories, man.
Like, I'm glad that y'all are like so tightly knit, cause like I grew up in Boston, you know what I'm saying? It's like everyone kind of like knew each other, like all like 14, 15 episodes that I did like pre-pandemic, like everyone in that scene kind of like knows each other, if you see, and they're all just like random Boston dudes, but we all kind of. So it's like I'm glad to interview people who are like part of a group and part of a collective in a bigger area, Los Angeles, and also like
man,
something that I'm involved in. So
you got some shit, man. I'm very honored to be here.
Yeah, no, absolutely, yeah. So you do a lot of your production. You do Logic or?
I'm on FL Studio for all the haters out there, bro. I'm on FL. I'm on Fruity. I'm on the fruitiest of loops, bro. Yeah. It's pretty colors. Yeah. And it makes my brain go brr. So.
And how do you go about like songwriting? Because I see you got like some of the shit's like kind of poetic. I'm like, oh, you really like spelling it out.
Yeah, brother. Yeah. I talked about Shel Silverstein earlier, but for real, like I loved poetry. I love poetry. I gotta find the right poetry that truly touches me for me to. But in general, like I love saying something that kind of is saying something else. I love shit like that. I love wordsmiths. I love playing with letters. I would describe myself as a wordsmith. I was even describing what I do as language arts. It's kind of just using words as a paintbrush, as like. To build something, bro. But yeah, man. So as a lover of words, I use them in many different ways. And I honestly, bro, I let the songs write themselves. It's kind of weird to describe that process, but whenever I'm writing, if I have a word I really want to use, I'm looking at this Truly box, not to expose y'all, but I'm looking at this Truly box right now. Say I want to use the word truly. I would literally break down the letters of like what does my mouth sound like when it says truly? What does the word truly remind me of? What is this? And a lot of the time, I either say what I'm feeling by accident, or like it's some other thing. I'm making a piece of art with words. For sure. And I'm under the belief. It's called there's this movement of surrealism at a time. It was called Dadaism, and it's this belief that anything is art if you say it is. You know what I mean? And Broadcast came up with a lot of songs. The album Tender Buttons. A lot of that, I believe. I hope I'm not spreading misinformation. Was written using this method of digging like fucking words out of a hat or cutting up like magazines and shit like that and placing words. Fucking David Bowie did the same shit reportedly. Sure. So like it's like coming up with and then the story kind of just tells itself because the words have so much meaning and it also allows the audience to place their own feelings on it. So now we both can share this moment and I'm not fucking sucking my own dick about how good of a writer I am. Like I'm trying to give an experience for me to experience and for all of us to experience together type shit.
Very true.
So yeah, like, but when a nigga says, my tongue is the hamster, her pussy the wheel. Bro. I was like, man, I'm cooking, bro. Niggas think I'm just saying crazy shit, like random shit, but I'm like, no, I'm actually trying to.
That's how you do it. Like, what's the shit you said about like a chrysanthemum?
Oh, pussy look like a chrysanthemum?
Yeah,
it be shit where it's
hard.
like, y'all gotta like, it's a shit. I'm trying to make the people I'm talking about also like, I'm trying to make them laugh. You know what I mean? It's like, like shit like that. So if you rock with it, you rock with it. So I'm truly a very poetic person. Like that's why I love words so much that things that are raw and direct also are moving, bro. They carry a message, whether it's humor. In that same fucking song where I'm like, her tongue is the hamster, her pussy the wheel. Right. I'm talking about watching like a fucking some traumatic shit, bro. This on the same song where I talk about some real shit, and that's kind of where I started exploring that musically more. Was like, this is what life is, bro. This is what life is. Is like, this shit's funny, it's cute. Y'all be fucking, you nigga. I be smoking, I be doing my shit. I be getting lit. I turn up with my homies. I'm having a great time. Also, like, you know, I'm struggling with my self identity. I'm trying to like meditate, to figure out my relationships, my boundaries. When they can feel lonely, you know. Nowadays, some real life, just internal human shit. That some days you're gonna feel, some days you're gonna not. You know, shit like that.
And I have to ask, you said on the NJ verse, did you really like crash the?
Oh, crash the whip? No. That was nah. I didn't crash no whip drunk driving. So that was basically the cook for that song was I am the comparison of like the thing that NJ's character is trying to avoid. Okay. Yeah, so he was having me lash out, like say the craziest shit that comes to mind. And so I was saying all that. Now, don't get me.
I figured.
Yeah. I was supposed to say the craziest shit that comes to mind. Towards the end of the record of that song, I get a little bit. I start interlinking some more real life shit in there. Mm-hmm. But it was more trying to combat NJ's more grounded approach with something that was like terrible.
No, I got you. Yeah. Cool. So, and also with poetry, like you said, Shel Silverstein, like what are like some other poets you
Edgar Allan Poe, bro.
Edgar Allan Poe,
I know that nigga was fucking with his cousin type shit. You know what I mean? They was rocking with each other. I don't know what they was doing in 1800s, but
that was normal for the time.
Whatever. I guess so. I guess so, brother. But all I'm gonna say is that he was penning something crazy. Yeah. He was penning something. He was penning. His pen game was wild, and I love his little vibe. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I love that it's like kind of dark and it's kind of whimsical. You know what I'm saying? It's a little whimsical with it. He dark for real, but he kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of it's kind of cunty. Like it's kind of like I'm emo and so sad. Like my Annabelle Lee. Oh, he's so dramatic. Like I love that shit. Like that shit goes so hard. As a theater nigga, I love me some Shakespeare. Shakespeare be spitting, and I'm so sad that my fellow niggas can't really, you know, I gotta really put niggas on sometimes.
What's your favorite Shakespeare work?
But Midsummer Night's Dream is my shit. My shit. That's what I would describe my music as, like being, but like hip hop. It's like if like hip hop looked like Midsummer Night's Dream. That's what it is.
For sure.
But yeah, so I love some of that. I love me. On some pause. I love Gertrude Stein. Gertrude Stein goes dummy, and she'll write some shit that borderline you're like, this don't make no sense at all. Actually, you didn't say anything. But like she'll repeat words hella, but it's very moving. Shit that moves me. I've been fucking with it's another white man. Bro, I forget his name right now. I'll come back to him. But I love me some. But Maya Angelou, I love me some. Maya Angelou goes dumb. I have a fucking. I still have to finish. So I just reminded myself that I gotta finish a book that I did not finish by Maya Angelou. I think it's I Know Why the Cage Bird Sings. Yeah. And I got like halfway through that. Maya Angelou's poetry goes crazy, but I don't have a poetry book by her. Who else? That's off the dome. I sure have more, but I'm just thinking of people that have like some childhood shit up to like now. You know what I mean? I'm incorporating.
Yeah. Was good.
Are you still recording?
Yeah, but nah, chill. You.
Yeah.
Okay, I came home to feed the cat.
Yeah, no, bro, chill. Yeah, we got Kyevoni here. So we got a game here. Choose one artist who you know personally, who you haven't like worked with yet, who you want to work with, call them out, and then one artist that you don't know personally, kind of dream feature type shit, like whatever.
Who I know personally, who I want to work with.
Yeah.
Let me think about this real quick. Cause I got my answer, but I gotta think about it. Okay, for sure. I'll just jump the gun on it. Nine Life Riot, bro. I don't know if you heard any of his shit, bro. Bro, I'm not convinced. I have never seen 9 Life Riot record, and I'm not convinced that's coming out of that nigga's mouth.
Yeah.
But melody game, insane. Instrumental game, insane. Idea game, insane.
Yeah.
He one of them niggas you would describe it as elusive, I guess. I'm not gonna say elusive. I'm not gonna put that on, bro. But I don't know as much as I'd like to. I'd like to kick it with him more. But his music is incredible, and I would like to cook some. I don't know. I feel like we cook something crazy.
Yeah. Word. And then who's like artists you don't know?
Artists I don't know, like personally, or artists like I don't know.
Artists you don't know personally, like just someone you looked up to, dreamed like.
My goal is to out-rap Kendrick.
Got you.
That's the mental goal. Not in no actual physically out-rap Kendrick, but like just being my own swag so hard that niggas are like, wow, you're in your swag. Yeah. But Yachty, I really want to work with Yachty. I feel like I could work with Yachty. But
yeah, for sure. And what are your future plans? Like I know you you just dropped Human Comedy. Like what do you got coming up after that? Shows, songs out. Like what do you?
We are trying to have a live show sometime in January to play the record, just to listen to it. Just have a listening party for the Human Comedy. Celebrate it being released. My birthday is at the end of the month.
Happy birthday!
So I appreciate it. My birthday at the end of the month. So I was gonna do it around then, but I was actually like, I want more random people to show up. I want people I don't know to show up.
Got you.
So we're gonna try to have a show in January, and then just more music, man. I gotta keep making art to get better at it. So that's the move.
And you got a big discography, big catalog. Like what's your favorite? You have a favorite song?
A favorite song out of the bunch? My favorite song is always my newest shit because I'm always responding to my previous shit. Yeah. I'm sure that's like everybody, but like because I'm always responding, so I'm always trying to get better, quote unquote. But favorite song that's like out under my shit. Fuck. Damn, it's kind of difficult. I feel like I guess I just have to go with Ooh right now.
Got you. Respect.
It's like between Ooh or Valdaro, just because they feel like a natural progression for like what all of my shit has been. But Ooh, man, it's just something sweet about it that I really feel like I'm always gonna be sitting back like. It just has a harmony in it that really makes me feel like safe type shit. I'm like, oh, that shit goes hard.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And anything else you want to say to the people out there? Man,
it's Sir Swag a lot. It's Young Vega, bro. It's it's yours. It's yours.
Yeah.
It's mine. Shout out. What's that one guy's name? You know the guy.
What dude?
Nah, shout out him, bro. Shout out that dude.
Yep.
I hope he well. And that's.
There we go. Well,
that's it, bro.
Kyevoni, Fake Radio. We out here. Shout out Jimmy K Feds and the Squeak Squad.
What the fuck? That was crazy.
Yeah, no, we got shout out every time.
Is that a real like?
That's just like the squad. That's like.
Man, because that was like it was a cook. I'm not saying I just wasn't ready. It was that was intense.
That's a squad.
Y'all got
free Palestine.
Free Palestine, bro. Free Palestine till it's backwards and then forwards again, bro.
Yes, sir.
And then upside down.
Well, go check out Kyevoni everywhere. Is Rax Kills easy? We out.
Yes, sir.